Yes, good morning. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. Hope everybody is well. It is Tuesday. The transfer window's been open for 24 hours. When are we going to sign a player? I'm just kidding. The transfer window is open, as we all know. As usual, all of the Tottenham news, we're always there or thereabouts, aren't we, in the transfer window? Whether or not we're signing loads of players, we're never, ever a doubt to keep the media and all the pundits guessing as to what Spurs are going to do. We're constantly linked with players. Some of the players we'll talk about this morning, when you look at the likes of Todibo, reports coming out today that it's to do with his attitude. Apparently there's a problem with his attitude. It's putting off clubs like Spurs, like Chelsea, like Man United. Sorry, what's the dog doing? Hello, come here. All right. Apparently there's something with his attitude. I don't know. Whenever you hear these reports, you just don't know, do you? And then you've got Dragusin. I'm seeing reports saying that Genoa don't want to sell him after we've agreed personal terms with him. There's very different thing, isn't there, to agreeing personal terms and the club actually agreeing to sell him. So keep an eye on that one. That would be the ultimate Spursiness, wouldn't it, for us to agree personal terms with Dragusin and then Genoa won't sell him. Other reports are saying that Daniel Levy is annoying them because they want X amount and he'll only pay a smaller amount. That's the Daniel Levy that we know and love, right? Some rumours won't go away. Conor Gallagher, the rumour won't go away. It feels strange. This has been maybe 2 or 3 transfer windows in a row now where Conor Gallagher's name is heavily linked with Tottenham, even though he's playing more than ever for Chelsea and is their captain. There are reports, again, surfacing in the last few hours about Jota, who used to play with Angepostecoglou, coming to Tottenham Hotspur on loan. I'm seeing that there are reports that Tosin Adarabioyo and Lloyd Kelly are again being considered by Tottenham. It always worries me when I see that. Not because I don't want Lloyd Kelly. I don't mind Tosin Adarabioyo. What worries me about it is I always think, hang on, and this is the Spurs cynic in me. And of course, there are Spurs cynics, right? We're Spurs cynics because we've seen how we run at this club for years and years and years. I always think to myself, hang on, why are we linked again with these players if we're being linked also with Dragusin and Todibo? Because obviously Todibo and Dragusin for me are there. Adarabioyo's here. Lloyd Kelly's there for me, just for me. But listen, just so you know, every morning throughout the transfer month of January, every day I'm going to have a lot of content for you. You can pick and choose when you want to join. If you want to join in, I am going to be live at 10 a.m. Then I am going to also have a 5 p.m. transfer update show for Tottenham Hotspur every day. We'll always have something to talk about. I'll go have my transfer videos as well. And then tonight, we are going to have West Ham versus Brighton, a live watch-along. So plenty of content coming out for you. So hang on 1 second. And I might be joining Henry at 11:30. Send me the link and I will jump on at 11:30 and I will jump on at 11:30. There we go. So plenty of Spurs content creators giving you content and football creators giving you content throughout the transfer window month. Please smash the like button before we get going. Smash the like button. Come on, there's 24 likes. There's 88 of you in here at the moment, and we're growing by the second. If you haven't, you know what to do as well. Smash the subscribe button. I don't know if anyone saw this. I did see a funny, somebody sent me yesterday a funny tweet. And now let me see if I can find it. Hang on, this was funny. By the way, while I'm doing this, any questions, any topics you want to discuss, put Q, capital Q, and then what you want to discuss, what your question is. We'll try and get to as many as possible. This did make me laugh. Look at this. Now, bearing in mind, I want everyone to bear in mind, I've not been on Twitter for over a year, right? I've not been on Twitter for over a year. And I don't know if you can see that. So some bloke called Big Bad Baz, really scary, said, a lot of people have asked, I've delivered. It's been a long time since I've published one of these, but attached is the Tottenham Twitter -11. please let me know if you could anybody else that should be in the team. And if you can see me there, I'm in the James Maddison position. Stell's at left back. You can see Stell's at left back. And I think they're the only two YouTube creators that I know of in that list. Stell's made it to left back. I've made it into playmaker. I think that's hilarious considering, one, that I actually think Tottenham are having a good season. And I've already said I think that the future looks very bright for Tottenham. Two, that I think we could get Champions League. And three, I've not been on Twitter for 4 years. And I've made a Twitter -11. Big up to whoever that is. Not the brightest human being, you would probably have to say. I always find it funny where people who don't know you just go, oh, you're negative. You think, oh, you don't know, do you? Big bad Baz from Twitter. Ooh, very scary. But anyway, let's say hello to a few people, get some questions in, get those topics in, and let's have the chat. Big up to Vinny Rowley, always in the chat. Hope you're well, brother. Hope you're well. Mario 2012 is a channel member to be guaranteed your comment to be read out every show. Be a channel member. If not, just subscribe. That's all I ask. And as I said, please go and subscribe as well to Percy's new channel. He's got some exciting things lined up for you guys. I said, good morning, Savva, and everyone in the house. Good morning to you as well. Man, Latasha says, Savva, where is your biggest fan? Proud. That's a good question. I haven't seen Proud to be a Geordie for a while, unless there's a different name. Proud to be a Geordie, let me know. By the way, today we're aiming to get this to 12,150 across the day. So if we can get 22 subscribers, that would be absolutely fantastic. Video complete, Sofiane. Good morning to you as well. Ian has said hi from Australia. Dragusin, Gallagher and Yotta would be a perfect window. I think it would be a very, very good window indeed if we managed to make that happen, Ian. Let's just see. We were promised a few days ago, weren't we, that Dragusin would be over the line very quickly. Then you're hearing reports that Genoa don't want to sell him. Smoke. Listen, by the way, when myself and other YouTubers report this, we're literally just saying what's in the news. It's not clickbait. We're just saying what's in the news. I don't know. You never know in football transfers, do you? There's nothing as straightforward as it should be. Robert Wilson said, good morning, Sav. Has anyone seen Angus? We're worried. Yeah, Angus has been MIA. Everyone in here knows Angus, right? Angus McDowell has been missing in action since Arsenal lost to Fulham. By the way, we are going to be talking about Papa Sarr and his new 6-year contract. We've had the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. Papa Sarr with a brand new 6-year contract. Let's see if we can find that on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter page. I don't know if I can find it. There's lots of talk about it. 1 hour ago. Let's have a look. This is what, let's see. Here you go. A couple of things from Fabrizio. Should we bring them up? Big old Fab making his millions from transfer rumours. Good man. Here we go. If we share the screen, we'll look at Fab, Romano. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we? There we are. Okay, so the first thing we'll look at is this. We won't look at this. So you can see there on the 29th of December, Fab said, understand Tottenham want new centre-back sealed by next week. Todibo talks on, but if it won't be done shortly, Spurs have another plan. That's what he said last week. Today, he's gone on to say about Dragusin this. He said, understand negotiations are underway between Tottenham and Genoa for Radu Dragusin, after the agreement on personal terms with the Romanian centre-back. Now, I think we all agree there was never going to be any problems with getting personal terms signed for Radu Dragusin. He goes on to say Spurs are confident to advance as contacts continue on a daily basis. No changes on Jean-Claire Todibo deal almost collapsed. Now, we'll come back to that in a minute. Because there is some news about Mate Papa Sarr, as we know. What do you make of that? Well, I don't want to be a cynic, but you know when you look at it and you think, if they've been in talks for days, how long does it take? Like, we're not talking about a £100 million signing here, are we? We're talking about a 21-year-old who apparently is 30 million. 30 million euros. Let me know what time and I will be free. Oh, hang on. I'll tell you, it's a nightmare. This time of the year, everyone wants to stream with everyone else. Listen, 30 million euros we're talking about. Surely, if we wanted Dragusin, surely the conversation is, what do you want? Oh, we want 29 million, 30 million euros. Boom. Surely that's how quickly you get it done. Surely we have him in and over the line, ready for Burnley at home. Let me know. I'll leave that to fester with you while I go through some comments. Do you think that's what we should be doing? Bish, bash, bosh, player in, ready to go. Burnley at home for his debut. What do you reckon? By the way, anyone know what the cutoff is for the Burnley game? Anyone know what the cutoff is for the Burnley game? So if we sign someone today, can they play against Burnley? Is the cutoff tomorrow? Let me know. Let me know. Big up to the person that just unsubscribed. Thank you for all the support. Big up Tony, channel member. How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. Legacy 11 has said, big up Savva. Just wondering your thoughts on the 19-year-old Facundo Buonotti from Brighton. Good little player. Yeah, good little player from what I've seen of him. Brighton do tend to unearth these gems on a regular basis, don't they? So, yeah, very good player. Video Complete Sofian says, according to reports in Italy. Do you know what I love, Video Complete? What I love is all January, people like me, you, everyone in the chat, fans, we're all going to use that word loads, aren't we? According to reports. Love it. Man United are willing to pay the asking price for Dragusin. If this happens, I would be fuming. Levy has to go. Oh, Man United trying to come in, are they? Listen, for me, this should be a really simple deal to get done. This should be how much do you want? Right, there you go. If we can't shell out 30 million euros for a centre half, what are we all doing here? What are we all doing here? Morning to Joe. Big up to you, my friend. Morning to Rodney Roberts, channel member. So big up to Savva. Happy New Year, fella. 17K this year. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It depends, doesn't it? It depends if people want to watch me. Depends if people like my vibe and my energy. We'll see. But we're not going to give trolls time of the year this year, Rodney. Robert says Levy is going to mess this Dragusin deal up. Surely even Levy can't mess this deal up. Alpesh has said, morning, Savva. The writing is going to be on the wall on February the 1st of the clubs and Levy's intentions. Of course. By the end of this window, we're going to know how serious were we to kick on. We say this every summer, every January. Of course, that's going to be the interesting thing. How do we kick on? Sessis Gammy Hammy, good morning to you. Hope you're well, my friend. Q7, another channel member said, morning and Happy New Year, Savva and chat. Happy New Year to you as well. Need to get Dragusin done before the end of this week if we are serious about our current issues. For sure. With our current issues, Dragusin should be done now. You know what I mean? Dragusin should be done. We should be hearing reports now. Dragusin done, flying to London tonight or tomorrow for a medical. I agree. Spurs psych, big up, channel member. Big up to you. I said, morning, Savva and chat. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well. We'll come back to this. We'll talk about the Jota penalty in a minute. We'll talk about that, Tony. I'll come back to this. I'll star this. I'll star that. Just quickly, did we get any money for Lloris? I don't think we did we? I think, didn't we rip up his contract? Somebody in the chat will tell me if I'm wrong. I didn't see any fee being bandied about, but let me know. John Raker said, big bad Baz, laugh out loud. Too many tweets on Twitter. You've got to laugh, ain't you? Like, I'm not even on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. Haven't been for 4 years, and I've made a negative 11. The thing that makes me laugh is, for years, we've been really bad. Everything I've been saying has actually been coming true for the last 4 or 5 years, and yet negative. All right, well, if you enjoyed the Conte and Jose and Nuno era, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should have been more positive about their eras. Agree, as a big up Savva. I think our fan base are very immature, looking more at Dragusin ball playing ability instead of his defending when he plays for a team who doesn't play with the ball. I agree. I think it's the easy thing to do now. I think so much emphasis has been put on, can defenders bring the ball out and pass out? Look, you've got Van der Ven that can do it. Romero can do it. It might not be Dragusin's strong point, but he can defend. We need defenders that can defend. And what I don't understand, Gree, when did this stop becoming a prerequisite for defenders? Like, it's 2023 syndrome, isn't it? Fans talk more about bringing the ball out than defending. I want defenders first and foremost. Lucas has said, are there any news regarding Mickey and Man U? Wasn't he scheduled to be back? Yeah, apparently there was a report flying around yesterday that Mickey van der Ven will make the Man United game. Obviously, that's 12 days away, so we'll see. Always got to be careful, haven't you, bringing people back from hamstring injuries? Because let's be fair, if Mickey van der Ven plays in that game, if I'm Ten Hag, all I'm saying is play it down his channel, make him stretch. I know that sounds awful, but that's what I'll be saying. He won't want to be running on his hamstring at full pelt. Where is SPT? Who's SPT? Where's SPT? Am I being an idiot? Am I being an idiot, Rodney? Who's SPT? Big up, Philly. Has anyone seen Angus? No, we're waiting for Angus. Angus, where are you, Angus? Agree. I said Savva Twitter is the worst social media platform. Yeah, I honestly, I can't believe I lasted on it as many years as I did. It's just a horrible, horrible place. And to be honest, it got me, and I started being horrible on there. And really glad that those days are over. Good morning to Get the Fraud Out of My Club. I love this. The Arsenal fans not happy. Spurs fans, do you want Arteta to stay at Arsenal or do you want him sacked? Let me know what Spurs fans think, because surely we want him there rather than them getting a better manager, don't we? But good morning to you, my brother. I hope you're well. Hard God 10 said, good morning, Savva chat. Hope everyone is well. I'm well. I hope everyone else in the chat is well. Good morning. Good morning to Philly. Said good morning, Savva, and the magnificent chat. Big good morning to Philly, my brother from another mother. Big up to you, my friend. Lee Music has said, might be old news, just joined, but I've heard Todibo is off. Yeah, Lee, apparently the deal is close to collapsing. I mean, look, they want 45, 50 million. Apparently we didn't want to pay it. I mean, there's probably a lot more to it than that, but we'll see. Right now, come on, there's 215, 18 of you in the chat. Let's get a couple of subscribers to make these shows worthwhile, people. That would be absolutely fantastic if we get a couple of subscribers. The link is in the chat, and we're going to go for 12,150 today. So we've got 22 more before we get to that target. So there is the link, not this. The link is pinned in the chat, so please do. Big up to Kate. Big up to Kate Rixham in the chat. Custy has said, Man U trying to hijack the Dragusin deal. Right, so a few people are now starting to say this. I would guess that Man U are desperate for centre-halves as well as we are. I would expect them to be in the same market. What I would also expect is that from 238 people, that there wouldn't be 64 likes. That is less than a quarter. Let's have a like party right now. Right now, let's get that to 100 likes. This is my lifeline, right? I don't ask for anybody's money. It's free. All I ask is for people to smash that like button and subscribe. And we've got 69 likes. Come on, let's get that up to 100, 120 straight away. Yeah, Custy, we'll keep an eye on this one. I'm guessing Man U are going to make moves. I'm guessing they're going to have to appease that fan base. I'm guessing they're going to make moves. Bob Down Under, who's a channel member, said some reporting that Man U are offering 35 million for Dragusin. Right. This is it, right? I mean, first of all, where does Dragusin want to go? Second of all, does a bigger club, and let's be fair, I know we're better than Man U right now, but they are a bigger club. Does a bigger club come in and go, right, how much you want? Bash, done. Whilst we dilly-dally. I don't know. We've seen it before. Surely we can't mess this up. Surely we can't mess this up. Good morning, Kate Rixham. Said, Man U are looking, yeah, okay. Everyone talking about Dragusin now, heading off to everyone, sorry, sorry, I was out of my throat. Everyone talking about this now. Let's keep an eye on this. Thursday lunchtime at 12 p.m. Thank you. Looks like the cutoff to get players in for the Burnley game. So keep an eye on Thursday lunchtime. So what does that give us? That gives us, if my maths is right, that gives us 49 and a half hours, 49 hours and 35 minutes to make some deals happen. Joe said, have Arsenal run out of ideas? A lot of sideways passing. I don't know. Let's ask the Arsenal fans. Has your manager run out of ideas? Are your players just not as good as we thought? By the way, this was sent to me earlier. I don't actually know who it's from, but it says, I'll read this to you. It does say, within Barcelona. Oh, right. So this is from years ago where it said, within Barcelona, there is some concern about Jean-Claire Todibo. His attitude, even with the closest people around him, has not been the most correct when listening to advice and taking criticism. Now, I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is, right? You never, ever know. You never know. 1 second. Is Sean available? You never know. But Tottenham fan doing stuff saying I think it's 48 hours before the game. Apparently there it was midday, so apparently it's like 36 hours before. Big up, Savva. Glad to see you've revamped and focused. Yeah, man, back. I'm focused. Had my time away. Had my time away, and back. Big up, better than ever. More positive, less trolls. We're doing what we're doing. Tottenham, Oz Singer Spurs. It seems like not possible to join as a member if I'm on the YouTube app on my iPhone. There is a subscribe button, but no join button, correct? If you want to be a member, here is the link. I can pass you the link. Obviously, I don't ever say to anyone, I never tell people to be a member because that costs money. It's like £2.99 a month or something. But if anyone wants to be, there is the link. For me, the most important thing is subscribers and likes, which are free. But there is the link. You can see it right at the bottom of your page right now. I'll show you. 1 second. I'll show you. Here, where it says membership. The one at the bottom where it says membership. Let's see if I can go back up. Where are we? Musings of a football fan. Said, morning, Savva. I feel we are not getting either. Okay, so that was in regards to the poll I did today was, could Spurs sign Dragusin and Todibo? The options were both, just Dragusin, just Todibo, neither. Both is 34%, so some very positive people out there. Dragusin, 54%, Todibo, 2%, and neither at 9%. I like that. 34% of people think Daniel Levy's going to go bosh on Dragusin and Todibo. We will see. Musings have said, I just have no confidence in Levy. We will not pay a penny more than what we think players are worth. If that is the case, then don't ever expect to win league titles. You've got to pay for players. You've got to, right? Kate said, morning, Savva. Too late with Levy. Uphill Gardner said, why would Genoa accept the first bid on day one? United are looking too. Look, Uphill Gardner, I'm guessing, look, they're going to give you a price, right? And Levy's going to come in lower. They're going to start there. We're going to start here. And then the idea, right, of any negotiation is you finally meet there. The difference is teams like Chelsea and Man U will go, what do you want? Oh, you want 35? Boom. They'll do it immediately. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if Man U want him. Let's be fair, right? Anything you lot talk about, I talk about, it's all purely speculation and reports that we read, isn't it? And we love it. That's why we love football so much. I am starring some questions, by the way. I know, Rodney. Can you believe it? We should be on 25,000 by now. Just kidding. Can you imagine being on 25,000? It's a big old number, isn't it? It's never been easy with Levy. Absolutely. Morning to Simon Davis, channel member. I said, morning, Savva. Hopefully we'll get some good news today. Get them in, get them playing. You know what, Simon? That last bit, get them in, get them playing. Absolutely. No messing about. Wouldn't it be lovely? The team news comes out on Friday night for Burnley at home in the cup, and you've got Dragusin playing alongside Ben Davis. Wouldn't that be lovely to see? I'd love to see that. But, this is Tottenham. You never know. Philly has said if Spurs are haggling to pay 30 million euros for Dragusin, then what chance did they have signing players for managers like Conte and Mourinho, whose targets are double that price? Absolutely. The funny thing is, Philly, every now and then we go and do it. Every now and then, like we drop 60 million on a Richarlison. And you're thinking, hang on, what? 65 million on Ndombele? I don't know. Daniel Levy's a law to himself, should we say. Big up to Caliphate, who said, big up Savva, hit the likes, people. Absolutely. We are currently 278 people in here, 111 likes. That is awful. That is like Darwin Núñez conversion rates and Richarlison conversion rates. Smash the likes, people. We should be at 150, 200. Smash those likes. I don't ask for super chats. I don't ask for any money, but likes are free. The Spurs bench. I said, morning, mate. So hoping to see Dragusin done by now so we can move on to the next. Let's look today. We've got a lot of time between now and this evening. Let's see. Maybe we get that news. Fingers crossed we get that news. Fingers crossed that Spurs can move forward and bring in another centre half quickly. Dragusin apparently only lost one duel this season. Yeah, he's a good defender. He's a good defender. And all people want to talk about is passing. John Kramer fan says we have 6 points to make up and have lots of players out due to international commitments. We can't differ around if we're serious. John, I'm not like you, right? I don't talk about the title. Everyone knows me now. I think when we say we've got 6 points to make up, even with 6 points, it's a big ask, isn't it, to ask us in the next half of the season to be 3 games better than what Liverpool do. Essentially, what we're saying there is, let's just use that as the example because Liverpool are top. Hang on, let's have a look at the we'll have a look at the. Hang on, let's stop the screen. Let's present, share screen. Let's have a look at the Premier League live table. So if you look at the live table there, if for those of you that do want to talk about being in a title race, I don't think it's important this year. You straight away, what you would say is if you were going to pit us against Liverpool, forget the 3 teams in between us, you would say that whatever Liverpool do now, we've got to do 3 games better. So they need to lose 3 and we need to win 3. It's a big ask. It's a real big ask. Man City, of course, with a game in hand, they will fly up that table. I've still got them to win the league. But I don't think you just win a league by bringing in a Dragusin. I think you win a league by bringing in that spark. That's something special. And I don't think that's a Jota or a Gallic. I'm not saying don't bring those players in, by the way. Where are we? I'm not saying don't bring those players in, by the way. But what I am saying is I don't know if bringing in a Dragusin makes you go from 5th place to 1st place. City will probably buy some players. Even if City don't, let's be realistic. If City don't buy any players, they've got Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Doku and Stones all about to come back. I mean, that's 4 serious footballers, isn't it? Some top footballers there that have been there, seen it and done it. Single parent theory's been in here. He's been in here a few times, not as much as before, but he has been in here. Hello to you. Hello to you. Hello to you. Beyond 72 has said, trust the process. I love this saying, trust the process. It's Daniel Levy we don't trust. So I'm just trying to catch up a little bit. I'm miles behind. Lewis has said, morning, Savva. Happy New Year to you and your family. Breaking news. Wayne Rooney sacked. Has he been sacked? Okay, there we go. People are saying it. What a silly appointment that was. They sacked John Eustace when they were 6th in the table. And I think Rooney's won something like 2 of 13. The Birmingham fans will be livid. Let's see. I think Fabrizio Romano has just posted another photo. Let's see what he's done. Fabrizio Romano. Here we go. Nope, haven't seen anything there. But Wayne Rooney. Yeah, here we go. It is breaking news on Sky Sports. Breaking news. Fulham captain Tom Cairney signs a new contract extension with Fulham. And Birmingham City are expected, here we go, breaking news. Birmingham City are expected to sack Wayne Rooney after just 15 matches in charge. The question I'll have for you, football fans out there, who now touches Wayne Rooney? Who touches Wayne Rooney? Can you? He's failed everywhere, hasn't he, as a manager? Daniel Cena said, at least Gibbs, White, class. I'd take both. I think, Daniel, are you a Villa fan, if I'm not wrong? Are you an Aston Villa fan? I tell you what, I'd take Gibbs White and Elise all day, every day. I think Gibbs White is a fantastic footballer. For me, he really is the best player, heads and shoulders above the rest at Nottingham Forest. Elise, I think Elise and Eze are wonderful footballers. That's who I want at Tottenham. That's who I want to see. Make a statement. Go and get Elise. Imagine Elise and Son in the same team. Yes, I'm taking that. John Kramer said, Ange's a very good manager. I think Todibo's attitude would improve under his guidance. Sure. Listen, I don't know whether he's got a bad attitude. I have no idea, right? These are just reports. Dominic Kearney has said Arteta ran out of chapters to Pep manual. He has 1 to 3, but doesn't have 4 to 6. Yeah, I mean, for me, Arteta, I don't know what he's done in football for people for the Arsenal fans to have got so hyped. Finishing second last year. I mean, we finished second once under Poch. You know, it happens. Chris, Kaka, big up to you, Chris. Is that you in the photo? If it is you, I think you need to get to the gym. Your biceps don't look big enough, Chris. Has said, Dragusin is your traditional centre-back. Tall, strong in the air, solid tackler and can clear danger. No-nonsense defender. Boom. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. And you know what? You've got to have these centre-halves. Not everyone can bring the ball out, right? Not everyone can. Don't worry about that. Let it go. Let it go. Life's too short for all this. Life's too short. Amir Muller, I said, good morning, Savva. Good morning to you as well. So I'm trying to catch up with some of the comments here. I'm trying desperately. There was a lot of comments in here today. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. But there are 315 of you in here now. 315, only 130 likes. Smash that like button, please, and keep subscribing. Come on, look, I tell you, we're setting aggressive targets this year, like Tottenham. There you go, 12-1-3-2. Let's get this to 12-150. Smash the subscribe button. Pretty, please. Where are we? Singer Spurs said that link takes me back to the place where there is no join button. It shouldn't do. It should take you straight to membership. Can anyone, I don't have an iPhone. Anyone with an iPhone able to put in the membership link for Singer Spur? One of my mods, one of my channel members, somebody, pretty please, would be wonderful. Lucas has said United's name gets thrown around a lot to make people stump up cash. Let's be real, quite possibly. That's the transfer game, right? It's the transfer game. Where are we? Phil Coys, big up Phil. How you doing, brother? Said, I don't know about you, but I think a backup goalkeeper is so important. Go and get Bazunu from Southampton as a future number one. Great with his feet. Phil, I'm going to be honest with you, right? The last two games alone, I watched Southampton yesterday and I watched them Saturday, and Bazunu got caught out both times with his feet regularly. I'm not sure about this guy. I've watched him play a lot. I'm not sure. For me, I don't think this guy is good enough. The worry with us needing a new a backup goalkeeper is, why did they just give Fraser Forster a new contract? I don't know. Answers on a postcard, everyone. Why did Fraser Forster just get a new contract? Come on. We should be on 200 likes. We're on 140 likes. We should be on 200. John Kramer's fan said, I'm praying that R9's purple patch continues. We need him to cook with Sonny out. I think that with Richarlison, I think when you put it on a plate for him, he will sweep them home like he did the other day. I don't ever expect him to do anything for himself. I don't think he's a good footballer. But if he's scoring goals, he's scoring goals. I do think if you want to win league titles, you need better. Get the fraud out my club. Arteta out my club said, Savva, do you see the two soft penalties? I do think they were both penalties. They were soft. But the problem is we've made this rod for our own back. Penalties are being given for anything now in football. And you know when fans... The thing is, what I would say is, if those two penalties happened against your club or my club, every fan would be calling for them to be given. When they're against other clubs, we call for them not to be given. So it's a difficult one. LFC would not be where they are without Salah. Well, no, I don't suspect they would be. He's a top-class player. Lee B has said, no, we are not in a title race. We're in a top four race. I think we're in a top four race. Very tight up there, but I do think, I've repeated myself loads, I think City and Liverpool will pull away. I think they've got too much compared to the other squads, if I'm honest. Philly said Tottenham are not winning the title this season, maybe next season or the year after. That's what I want to grow towards. I don't want the pressure on our manager that, you've got to deliver a title this season. Phil has said Dragusin, Bazunu, Jimenez and Jota. I'll take all of them apart from Bazunu. I've seen him play a lot. I'm not enamored with him at all. Cessi's Hammy has said it's out of City and Liverpool for the league for me. Arsenal probably finish third. Then it's a scrap for fourth. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at as well. And Tony Demosky has said Dragusin, Gallagher and Jimenez will be a great window. Let's be brutally honest. For that to happen, you're looking at 30 million for Dragusin, 50 million for Gallagher and 60 million for Jimenez. So we're looking at 150 million pounds. I cannot see Daniel Levy parting with 150 million pounds. Would be a great window. I just can't see it. I'd love to sit here on February the 1st and say, oh, I was wrong. I was wrong. Yes, we have parted for £150 million. Video complete. Sophia said, I think from now on, Kai Havertz needs to play up front. Jesus and Nketiah can't score to save their lives. Isn't it funny? Kai Havertz, the Arsenal saviour. Bryce, big up, my friend, has said Rooney to the National League. I mean, surely if he gets another job in the Championship or the Premier League, this is purely because of his name, right? Not for anything he's actually done as a manager. Gary has said Tanganga possibly going to Luton. Where did you see this, Gary? Come on. If we're gonna put reports in, let's see. Let us bring up the reports. Let's see where they are. By the way, before I move on with any other comments, and good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for all the likes. There's 362 of you in here and only 155 likes. Come on, people. That's 200 people that haven't pressed the like button. This is poor. When I go on Saeed's channel, Saeed's getting 1,000 likes in the first 10 minutes. Let's smash this like button, people. Let's have a look, shall we, at the other news, and I'll let people talk about that in the chat. If we scroll down, we can see here that 2 hours ago, Fabrizio Romano said, so about 8:42 this morning, Fabrizio Romano said, understand that Papa Batasar's new deal at Spurs valid until June 2030. So 6.5 years. It's all set. Agreement completed to the midfielder. Paperwork getting ready. And then Tottenham will be able to confirm one more key extension after Destiny Udogie. So 6.5 years added on to his contract. Let me know what you're making of that. Let me know what you think of that. For me, I talked about this yesterday. I think it's a win-win. The club can't lose. You've signed him up, which means if he doesn't work out in the long run, you're going to get more money than you paid for him. And if it does work out, you've tied down a very good player for 6.5 years. So it's a no-lose situation for Tottenham. For me, we only paid 15 million for him. If we manage to keep him until 2030, obviously it depends on his growth and development. You can't just say that everyone who's 20 is going to turn out brilliant. He could, he might not. Obviously, that's Ange and his team. That's their job to develop him, to grow him, to enhance his abilities. Ben Blackman has said, look at what he has done to someone else's squad, mate. Lo Celso needs more games under his belt, and then Madders might not get in. We don't need midfield. Sorry, look at what he has done to someone else's squad. Are we talking about Ange? Look what he's done to someone else's squad, mate. Lo Celso needs more games under his belt, and then Madders might not get in. I mean, you lost me at Madders might not get in. That's where I stopped. Sorry, Madders might not get in. I mean, I'm going to ask everyone in the chat, does anyone see a world in which James Maddison, when fit, doesn't walk into this 11 and play week in, week out? What is that? Craziness, absolute craziness. Lo Celso isn't half the player of James Maddison. Mr. Carter said, we need signings, mate. Yes, we do. Uphill Garden says, you do realise Arteta has won more than every Spurs manager in the last 30 years combined. Some fraud, and he won with a team that Emery couldn't win with. He's won an FA Cup, yeah, with someone else's team. Didn't he win just the semi and the final, if I'm not wrong? Did he win the semi and the final to win that FA Cup? It's not like he took them on a whole long cup run, right? He won, and since then, what's he done with all that money he's had? What's he done? Just going to ask. Good morning, Philly. Philly. Phil P., the leader of the Phil Army, said, I think Rooney did a good job at Derby in difficult circumstances. Quite possibly, but being trash otherwise. Absolutely. Green Ninja said, I think the best example of defending over ball playing is Ronald Araujo at Barcelona. He's not good at ball playing as Koundé and Christensen, but he's their best defender by a mile. Bang on. I would love Araujo. That guy is class. He is a class footballer. I love him. Big up, Ash. How you doing? Said, hi, Savva. I really hope Forster doesn't start against Burnley. Don't put it out there in the world, Ash. God, can you imagine if he does? Tony hasn't messed around. Said, Forster is a shit keeper. He's too old and too slow. Takes him 15 minutes to get down to the ground. I'd rather see Austin as our backup. Fingers crossed that Vicario never gets injured. Not half. I'm going to call it. Call me negative all you want. If Vicario had missed the last 10 games and Forster had played, I think Tottenham Hotspur would be in the bottom half. I think Vicario has papered over some very, very bad performances. That's just me. That's just me. Everybody, if you would like to subscribe, please do. We're heading towards the 13K. It would be great if we could get some more subscribers. The link is in the chat. It is pinned. Much love to every single one of you. Look at this. We've got a few fan favourites in the house. I'll come to some comments in a minute. Actually, it's come to some now. Tottenham fan doing stuff. Said, I'm Irish, so I want Bazunu play a lot, but I think he's inconsistent. I just watched him with his feet. He looks really lackadaisical. If anyone saw the goal they conceded to Plymouth the other night, he just looked so lackadaisical is the word I'm going to stick with. Definitely the word I'm going to stick with. Danny Kiriakou, big up. My brother said, hope you have a good New Year's. Hope you had a good New Year's. Yes, I did. Thank you. Very quiet. Said, Dragusin, what's he like? Looks like it's going to happen. He's a good defender. He's a good defender. He's aggressive, but without giving away yellow cards every week. And he's a first and foremost defender, if you will. Paul, yeah, Arteta has spent a ridiculous amount of money, if that's who we were talking about. Danny has said Spurs won't get another backup keeper because we have far more important issues to resolve. I agree. I think that is why they've gone down the route of giving Forster a new contract. You've got to guess, though, right, that surely if you were Austin and Whiteman, at what point in your careers do you turn around and go, you know what? We've been here now for a number of years. We want to go to League One or the Championship and start playing. At what point does that happen? There we go. Apparently, this takes you to membership. This comment, which is at 10:40 a.m. UK time, 10:40 a.m. UK time. Apparently, this takes you to the membership. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Spurs FC 2023. Lee Music said Foster is the perfect backup keeper. He's decent, experienced, and won't moan about being on the bench. A young up-and-coming keeper is the last thing you want. They need games and experience. Lee, don't you worry, though, that the style of play we've implemented with Forster's slow nature, I mean, he wouldn't be able to come out and sweep. I don't know. It worries me. Buddy Lover said, we're in a tight race until mathematically impossible. Do not underestimate. No, see, I'm not underestimating Big Ange. I hate it when people say this. No, I'm not underestimating Big Ange. I think there are better teams than us. There's a huge difference. I think that Man City are a better team than us. I think Liverpool are a better team than us. It's not about underestimating Big Ange. I underestimate the squad he's been given. And I think this last 10 games has shown me why we're not going to win the league. But yeah, I mean, listen, Buddy Love, I don't talk about title races after this many games. I've always said, get to 30 games. If you're in it with the last 8 games, you're in a title race. At the moment, it's mid-season. Lots of things can happen. Clubs can go on a great run. Clubs can drop away. Villa could go on a run and win every game and win the league. Or they could lose every game and finish mid-table, for example. Man City could win every game now and win the league. You just don't know. So for me, we'll see. Every mid-season, you have a group of fans of a club that are up there saying, oh, we're in a title race. And then they never are in the end. A title race for me isn't in January. Just saying, just for me. Simon Rath, big up my friend, Arsenal fan, said I need Nketiah to piss off this month. Interesting. Daniel E said 150 million, then we all woke up. Absolutely. We're not spending that much money. Look, we're haggling over 30 million euros for Dragusin. So, yes. Rui Heng Chuana says Spurs need a winger that can go wide and cross if they want to succeed. I agree. Get someone like Kostic who stays nearest the touchline and stretch the opponent's defence. I agree. I do think that's where we struggle with our wingers. I do believe that. Yeah, absolutely. Phil Coys has said, if Spurs were to win the league, it's a long shot. Would Ange be considered the best manager to ever manage Spurs? I tell you what, I think it would be the best ever achievement from a Premier League manager in season 1, wouldn't it? For sure. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, though, but for sure it would. I just think there's too many deficiencies in our squad. I think the way we've been playing, I don't think it's sustainable. I don't know how anyone's watching us play and thinks that's going to win the league. I think we've been poor for a very long time now. Just me. Bryce has said 6.5 years. I thought the Prem had changed its rules so you couldn't sign players for that long to stop what the likes of Chelsea were doing. Yeah, but hasn't he got a bit of time already left on this current contract? So it's 6.5 years from now, but I think he already had a bit of time left. So I don't think it's a brand new 6.5 year, if that makes sense. Someone else can clarify that. Not yet. Not yet. Ash said, yeah, Daniel, the defensive force to behind it. Yeah, oh my God. I think we would concede 4 or 5 a game. I mean, let's be brutally honest. We did concede 4 against Brighton. Everton should have whacked 4 or 5 past us. Bournemouth, if they could finish their dinner, would have been, I mean, they had 24 shots at our goal. Like, madness. Ian, this is an interesting debate, right? This is an interesting topic. I'd play Ashley Phillips, Dorrington, Donnelly against Burnley. Need time on the pitch to strengthen a Prem run. Now, here's the age-old question. If Ange Postecoglou did this, how many would be happy with that? And how many would say, why haven't you gone full strength? Let me know. It's just an interesting debate. I'm not saying what I think. Daniela has said, Maddison gets in every day of the week. Madders is the glue. Yes. How anyone thinks that James Maddison wouldn't walk back in this team, even with one leg. Listen, we have missed that boy unbelievably. Big up Philly has said Hotspur reports Gallagher set to turn down any moves away, given he is standing captain with Reece James. Yeah, I just never thought it was going to happen. I wouldn't mind it happening. I just never thought that it was going to quite happen. On the Forza footballer, he can go for me. Too inconsistent. Get some funds in and rebuild. That's what I would do. Good morning, Midori. He said good PR as well, extending Sarr. He wanted to sign. He believes he has a future here. Transfer targets are seeing this. I agree. John Kramer fan. I don't agree with this in any way, shape, or form. How anyone would put Lo Celso in above Sarr or Basuma, I just can't. For me, Lo Celso, his passing is so erratic. Not for me. I'd quite happily see him go, if I'm brutally honest. Absolutely, Robert. Absolutely. Savva, would you take Hwang Hee-chan? I'd take him. I can't imagine there's a world in which Wolves go, yeah, go on, have our top goal scorer. But I'd definitely take him. I think I've seen vast improvements in his game. He looks good. Yes, I like Adeyemi. I like him. He would definitely be a good player. Uphill Gardner says, Savva, so why was Emery? Dude, I don't know. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I don't know. Do you know how much happens at my own club to worry about Emery being sacked? I don't know. Since Emery's been sacked, I think Spurs have sacked or let go of Jose, Nuno, and Conte. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. My fan base can be so delusional. Yeah, the Arsenal fans. By the way, Simon, do you know Angus? We haven't seen him for a while. We're really worried. He's normally in here telling us how great Arsenal are. Arteta has also won the glorified soccer aid. I'm trying to get to as many as possible. Red Devil TV, yeah. The breaking news is that he's expected to be sacked in the next few hours. So we will see on that front. I don't know what I nailed, but yeah, should we just assume, Ben, that everything I say, I nail it? I'm just going to assume that. Listen, we've come back. 2023, the channel's going to be 2024. Channel's going to be bigger, better than ever, more enthusiasm, and hopefully you come here because you like the energy and you like the talking about Tottenham and football in general. Danny said, "Have a spot on about the keepers, mate. I cannot understand if I am Austin or Whiteman. I am looking at myself saying, I'm 24, 25. I want to play football. Now, the worry for Spurs, if they do that, isn't that they're good keepers, is that they're 2 of our homegrown players. There's the worry. Ricky Campbell has become a new channel member. Big up to you, Ricky. Thank you so much for your support. If anyone else would like to be a channel member, you know what to do. The link is there. And come on, we're trying to get that. We're trying to get that before the end of tonight. We've got a few more streams to do. We're trying to get that to 12,150. So if we could get another 5 or 6 this morning, that would be absolutely fantastic. The link to subscribe. And by the way, I must make this clear. I get told I should make it more clear. Subscribing is free. There is no cost attached to subscribing. I never ask for anyone's money, ever. I never ask for super chats. I never ask for people to become members. I only give the option, but subscribing and likes are free. So please smash that like and that subscribe button. Belgrade Wanderer said you need way better than Forster. Absolutely. With this style of play, you absolutely need it. Maybe with a low block, you might get away with it. But it is what it is. John Kramer fan said Arsenal should have worried about how little they created against Newcastle, but instead they went after refs. Man City focus on their own team, which is why they always win elite mentality. Absolutely. By the way, people, let me know if everyone likes the style of we bring up some news, then we go to the chat. We bring up some more news, then we go to the chat. I like to get your comments involved. Let me know, because if people want me to change it up, I can always change it up. Hopefully you like that style of how I present. Big up Tigaro in the house, channel member, saying Happy New Year to Rodney Roberts. Well, Happy New Year to you, Tigaro. Happy New Year to you. Greer said I watch Port Vale pretty often, and I genuinely think how Skip is in our team. Instead of a player like Alfie Devine, such an exciting lad, I think he needs 1 to 2 more loans to fully become a starter. Lots of hype around Alfie Devine, has been for years. At some point, you'll have to integrate him into the team if he's good enough, right? Spurs FC 2023. I can tell you supported Spurs for a while. Said, I bet we beat around the bush with Dragusin and a bigger team comes in and gets him. Don't put it out there in the universe. Come on, don't put it out there. John Kramer fan said, we need to go for the cup. Take it seriously. We are not in Europe. No excuses. Boom. I'm on board with this. No excuses of going out to Burnley on Friday night. You know what will happen if we do? People will go, oh, but Ange this and but this. No excuses from the players, the manager, anyone. No excuses. We are playing a team that are struggling. Could that go in their favour? Will they relax? Will they relax for the FA Cup? I don't care. We've got to go and win that. Bob Cunningham, big up to you, has said, long time no see, Bob. How are you, mate? Has said, do you think our back four play too narrow? Always get caught on the wings. Look, for me, it's a symptom of this style of play. We said this at the beginning of the season. Sean and I did a lot of shows about this. This style of play from Angepostecoglou is wonderful going forward when it works. It's wonderful at the back when it works. When it doesn't work, the two fullbacks are so inverted. Like if you look, Adogi and Porro come so far in field that teams will put their wingers to exploit us. I'm seeing it more and more and more. People are telling me that's not true. Go and watch how many times not the Wolves wingers, well, the Wolves wingers did it, but how many times Everton got the ball out wide. Yeah, got in behind us. Go and have a look how many times Brighton did it with Pedro and Welbeck pulling out wide. Have a look at the game against Bournemouth, the two wide men pulling out wide. It's just, you've got to take, I'm going to coin Sean here. He might want to trademark this. That you've got to take the bitter with the better, right? Gary has said, if he plays the three youngsters and we lose, Ange will be slaughtered. Do you know what? The thing is, I think he can play one of them. I think you can play one of them. If playing one 18-year-old is the difference between beating Burnley or not, then we're not a good football team, are we? We should be able to carry one 18-year-old. From some of the performances the other night and against Brighton and Bournemouth and Everton, I would say that some of these 18-year-olds would do better. Simon has said you can sign a player to a 20-year contract if you want. You just can't spread a transfer fee longer than a certain amount of years. Look at Chelsea trying to find those little loopholes. Good. By the way, I think they're going to have a good second half of the season. Just putting it out there. Cam Tinley always has a pop at me in my chat. But how are you, Cam? Said exactly, Savva. I think Andrew will play the academy players in the FA Cup match and then cop critics if we lose. Listen, it's down to him to manage. I don't see that playing one or two teenagers makes you lose a home game to Burnley. There should be enough quality throughout that team to win, even with a couple of kids playing or one kid playing. So for me, that's his job. He's got to manage this, right? He's got to manage it, but he's got to get through. For me, Ange can't come in, get knocked out in the first round that we played in the League Cup and then the first round that we played in the FA Cup. You can't. You've got to go through. You've got to go through. Perchy started his own channel, bro. Perchy started his own channel, and we wish him all the best. He started a new channel called In the Dugout, which is going to be not just Spurs, all football. It's going to give you a lot of content. And no, before anyone asks, there has been no falling out between Perchy and I. We're just going in different directions. We're still going to stream together. We're still friends. We still talk. We wish him the best of luck. So please go and subscribe to Perchy's channel if you haven't already. Oz Singer Spurs said, Andrew's trying to protect the youngsters. Yeah, but other clubs are putting their youngsters in and getting them valuable game time. So why is it that ours are the only ones that need to be protected? I don't buy this, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I don't buy that. Mazza has said, Happy New Year, Savvy. Forget Gallagher. Go for Calvin Phillips. Here's a point to prove before the Euros. I would take Calvin Phillips if it was a loan with an option. Definitely would. But I think that I've seen Juventus want him. I think Aston Villa want him. He's not a bad player. He's just not played for a long time, really. Q7, I do agree with you. He'll play the strongest team available. Let's hope. Listen, for me, I don't see, if you play the strongest team available and drop in a Jamie Donnelly, right, Kulu right wing, Brennan left wing, Kulu and Donnelly in the hole, Richarlison up front, that shouldn't be the reason we lose the game. We can't then, what I don't want is if a Donnelly did start, or an Ashley Phillips started, for example, that we go, oh, there you go, we lost to Burnley because that one teenager played. That, for me, is an easy excuse. I'm not having that. Big up Patrick McCory, channel member. Big up to you, my friend. Said, morning, Savva. Enjoying the show on the Peloton here in Pennsylvania. Love that. Hopefully, Levy's New Year resolution is to stop being a cheap ass. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. I love that. Here's me sitting here, not working out at all, and there's you on the Peloton. But by the way, I am from today starting another 75-day get fit. I'm going to try and lose even more weight and get into even better shape. So 75 days for me starts now with a nice pint of water. Big up to absolutely everyone in the chat. Really liking the vibe and the energy this morning from everybody. But we have only got 213 likes. There's 375 of you in here. There should be 300 likes easily. And if you do want to subscribe, I'm putting the link in the chat right now. So please feel free to. Just remember, I never ask for super chats. All right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Okay, good. Morning, Savva. Where is the hoodie from? Oh, yeah. The missus got it for me. I don't know. I really don't know. I can find out. I just don't know. Ben has said, matters now as a backup is what I mean, but you get him pushed by Lo Celso, which is great. I don't think Lo Celso for me is the Maddison backup. I think Kulu is. I don't think he would be pushed by sorry, Ben, I'm going to disagree. I don't think he would be pushed by Lo Celso. Lo Celso for me is nowhere near the footballer that James Maddison is. Nowhere near it. Some of his passing against Bournemouth was atrocious. But it is what it is. Is it possible to do a deal with it without it leaking out? I'm guessing so. I'm guessing it would have to be really hush-hush. Less so in this day and age. By the way, sorry, Rodney, not going to not give that the attention, but it is breaking news now that Rooney has been sacked. In the last half an hour, the news broke that they were thinking of sacking him. He has now been sacked. 15 games in charge, 2 wins. 2 wins. Ben Davis said Skip should be nowhere near this team. I agree. He's not a Tottenham player. Ben has said, would you be happy with Bentancur? No, I would not be happy with that as a midfield for me. No, there's not enough in Lo Celso and Kulu in a 3-man midfield for me. I think that would get overrun. Just for me, I think you need a Basuma or a Sarr in there. Paul, I agree. Teams are beginning to exploit it. I said this yesterday. People were like, no, they're not. Watch teams attack us now. Teams are going through us in midfield and taking out Porro and Udogie because they're inverted. Watch. They are doing it. But you take the rough with the smooth with this style of play, right? Jason said, and his system relies on quality centre-backs to cover. True. But the system at the moment hasn't been faltering on that. If you look at the last 2 games, it's how easily people have been breaking through our midfield because we don't hold on to the ball up top. People are bypassing our midfield with a quick press, and then they're on us. So Orange Fantasy has said, please give a chance for Ashley Phillips. Yeah, he hasn't given him a chance yet, has he? But hey, we'll see. We'll see. I was told that Ange loved the youth when he joined. I've not seen any evidence of it. Faz said, big up Savva, big up to you. Said we need the best 11 for Burnley. Enough time to recover till Man U match. Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at the squad now going, well, who can play in that front four, if you like? You've got Richarlison, Kulu, Johnson, Hill, the Celso in the attacking midfield role, and then Skip and Bentancur, or I don't know. There's not a lot to pick from, is there, at the moment? I agree. Yeah, there is no. I agree. AF yeah, I agree. I think more for me, it's about who we got fit more than anything. I don't think there's many options, but I do agree. Newcastle are talking to Calvin Phillips. I think that'd be a good move for them, just to add a little bit of solidity into their midfield. After what I saw yesterday, they desperately need it. Rodney said, question, so Savva, you ever done a show with expressions, both top of your game, but so different? I never see expressions work with anyone other than the ones that pay him, right? I think he's tied into contracts, I believe he's tied into contracts. So working with someone like expressions, I just don't think would happen. I think me and him are so different as well. I don't understand a lot of what he says, if I'm honest. I don't understand it, but I love him. He's funny. Video complete, Sofiane. I mean, if Chelsea got Lautaro Martinez and Todibo, that's cooking, isn't it? That's cooking. That's two serious footballers. I expect Chelsea to do something for sure. Yeah, I keep seeing this. Where is this news? I keep seeing this. Where is this news? I would like to have access to this. I'm just seeing if so Fabrizio Romano has confirmed. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look. Let's see what Fabrizio Romano said in the last few minutes, have we, in the world of football. He's kind of like the go-to guy, isn't he? Present, share screen. I don't know why I'm talking you through how I do this. There you see it. Wayne Rooney. Rooney failed to win 13 of the 15 games in charge. And the Birmingham board have said, unfortunately, Wayne's time with us did not go as planned. And we decided to move in a different direction. That's polite, isn't it? That's a very polite phase. As we scroll further down, Fabrizio Romano said, Taylor Buchanan to Inter. Here we go. So a deal in place with the Club Bruges on a €7 million fixed fee plus add-ons. Lots of people like this guy. So check it out. Inter normally find these wing backs and defenders very well. Let's see. I like him. Lots of people rage about him. In the last hour as well, Romano has said Warren Zaïre-Emery has agreed on new deal at Paris Saint-Germain. So he signed a new deal. And then before that, it was our news about Dragusin. So lots of news happening. The transfer market is starting to heat up. Donny van der Beek left on loan yesterday as well. I think it was, was it Stuttgart or Frankfurt? One of the two he joined. So there's lots of things happening at the moment. And because of that, I'm going to have a show every morning at 10 and every day at 5. They'll never be longer than an hour and a half. The show at 5 will only ever go till 6, and then watch-alongs in the evenings. And I've got some great guests lined up for you throughout January. We're going to be doing a weekly show with Mo, with Judge Mo, a weekly show with LB from It's LB, a weekly show with Sean, a weekly show with Henry, a weekly show with Stell. So I'm going to have lots of pop-up weekly shows once a week with these people, and then I'll reciprocate on their channel as well. Absolutely, Maddison is clear of Lo Celso. For me, there's no... Lo Celso, for me, I look at it like this, people. He's been here 5 years and is still a bit part player. He's still a bit part player. For me, cash in, get some money, go again. Let's not be scared about letting these players go. TB, I do this thing called the six-pack revolution. Has anyone heard of it? If you haven't, go and look at the six-pack revolution. And it works. Forget the word six-pack. You will lose a load of weight and get toned. Depending on how much work you put in, you'll get the six-pack. But yeah, anyone that wants to lose weight whilst eating. By the way, you eat 6 times a day. So if anyone does fancy losing some weight, this is the one to do it. But it does revolve no alcohol. You get no carbs. The only carbs you get are sweet potato. You get no rice. You get no chocolate, no crisps, no fizzy drink, no sugar, no salt. Honestly, go and have a look at it. It's a real good plan. I lost 1.5 stone doing it a couple of months back, and I'm doing it again to lose another stone or so. Savva, why are they playing average players no one's heard of? I mean, I think people have heard of Dragusin. SJ, I mean, if you do watch other leagues, then you would have heard of them. Dragusin isn't an average player. He's a very good defender. So I'm sorry, I can't quite go along with that. Declan said, I think Donnelly makes a start. Interesting. Liston Hines said, Skippy is unfortunately way too easy to beat. A slight body feint and Skippy is sent to the stands, discombobulated. I'll tell you what, listen, you win the prize for the best word of the day. I don't know many people that drop the word discombobulated into a sentence. Love it. I first saw the word discombobulated whilst watching an episode of Dawson's Creek when I was younger. Discombobulate. He said, I'm in a state of discombobulation. And I was like, oh, good word. Good word. Danny Kiriakou said, Sav, question. I've been having this debate with people on Twitter. Oh, Danny, did you see the -11 on Twitter that I made yesterday, even though I've not been on it for 4 years? Sav, question. I've been having this debate with people on Twitter over the last few days, and for me, there's a reason Phillips hasn't started, and I think it's because Ange may feel he's not ready. It must be, Danny, it must be. To continue to play Royale, who is crap there, and Dyer, who wants out the club, instead of him, he can't be ready, right? As much as I can sit here and you can sit there and everyone can sit there saying we want to see him, the manager sees him every day and can only think that he won't be ready for first-team football. That's the only thing that I can think of. I agree with you. I'd rather play Forster as a DM than Skip. Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of Skippy. I'm not a fan of Højbjerg at all. I'm not a fan of Højbjerg, Skippy. I'm not a fan of Hill. I'm not really a fan of Lo Celso, Sessegnon, Dyer, Davis, Royale, Tanganga, Roden. There's a lot that needs to go. There's a lot that needs to go in this team. Yeah, and as we, yeah, Wayne Rooney has been sacked. I just don't know where he goes from there. Ben has said, then who is our middle with Sarr gone? We've got no one left. Savvy, who is your midfield for? My midfield for January. So I thought you meant in general. So at the moment, it's got to be Bentancur. I think you've got to put Højbjerg in there at the moment. I do. I think you've got to shore it up a bit. I think if you play, depending on the opposition, if you play Bentancur with Kulu and Lo Celso, I think it's very lightweight in terms of breaking through it. Especially the fact that Bentancur is just coming back from a year out injured. It puts a lot of pressure on him. I think you almost have to play Højbjerg, and I don't rate him, but I think you've almost got to play him at the moment. I agree. For me, I don't even want him on there, but I'll be honest. I think that for me, we talk about a lot about building a squad, back the manager, but then we talk so much about keeping average backup players. For me, I think we can do so much better than Lo Celso with some scouting. I would sell him. I would get some money in and I would go again. I would love to see a Lo Celso out and somebody like a Matt O'Reilly come in. That for me is an upgrade. That for me is what I would like to see. That type of business. Big up to Sean, Spurs Talk Show. One of the bigger Spurs accounts. He's flying in, that boy. Go and subscribe to him if you haven't already. And he said Buchanan is a baller of a right wing back. I like Buchanan. I think he's a good player. Inter just make... I mean, look, when you look at signings, 7 million euros. These are the type of signings you think that's what our scouts have to be looking at now. 7 million euros. What a deal that is. Jason said, who has been Ferguson's most successful protege? Interesting. From a management perspective, who's he had? Roy Keane has managed, Ince has managed, Bruce has managed, Neville's managed. None of them have done brilliantly, have they? Giggs, Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Bruce, Keane, Ince. No one that really stands out, right? But Hey, good question. Good question. Steve Bruce is the next manager of Birmingham. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Danny, continuing the theme, I think, about Ashley Phillips. Somebody has said something to him. Let's see if I can find that so we could, I don't know what was said. Danny has said, Cantab, it's not about being better attributes-wise. It's about him being ready to play and play well. It's about mentality and pressure. And there's obviously something Ange feels he's not ready. Must be. It must be. It must be. Absolutely. Philly has said, no, Lee Gunner or Saeed. Savva, loving the Monday afternoon show. I don't know. No Lee Gunner or Saeed. Oh, listen, these boys are busy. These boys are, don't forget, these boys do it full time. So trying to get them to tie down is tough. Some of us that are not full time, like myself, like Sean, Stel, Henry, we can a bit more flexibility. Sorry if Sean's in the chat and I'm speaking for him, but a bit more flexibility. When you do it full time, that then becomes about your business and you want to make money. And, so very difficult. I'll get them on every now and then, but it's really hard to get them once a week. Football Short said, Lo Celso's getting in form. Well, I thought other than the assist against Bournemouth, I thought he was horrible of a performance. I thought it was a horrible performance. I thought he messed up in the Brighton game as well. I didn't think he was any good when he came on against Everton, so I don't know what form he's getting into. But hey, that's just me. Pat Nelson, big up, said, good day, Sav. Skip has to go. Still don't rate Lo Celso. A couple of good games in all these years. Agreed. I think as a fan base, we get confused, Pat, between a player doing well every now and then and being right for what we want moving forward. I'm bored of having to defend, of fans defending Skip and Højbjerg and Lo Celso. I just think you need better. I don't think he's a bad player, Lo Celso, but there's zero consistency to this lad at all. And this notion that that Postecoglou can make every player brilliant and consistent is just not true. He's not a miracle worker. I would have had young Alex Scott, definitely one for the future. Definitely one for him. Listen, guys and girls, I will leave it there. Thank you so much, everybody. Listen, we're going to be back at 5 p.m. We're going to be back at 5 p.m. for a transfer update. Not just Spurs, but for all clubs, transfer updates. Please join me then. And I'll be live tonight at 7:45 for West Ham versus Brighton, a live watch-along. That should be good. And hopefully we get some good news today as Spurs fans. Much love. Please smash the like button on your way out. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. The link I'm putting in there. This is the last thing you'll see before I go. This link here. Well, where is it? No, that's gone. There you go. This link here is to subscribe. Please do. We'll see you later. And I have redirected you all to Henry, who started in 10 minutes. Much love, everyone. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.